Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are, and welcome to Requiem for London Chronicles, the City of Martyrs. And we begin our scene with a particular kindred who's been informed and told of a place named the Hidden Alley, located near the sort of Borough Market or London Bridge area. She's told this is a place to go to gather information, artifacts, relics, items, secrets. As she heads to this place, she feels the effects of the moonlight on her skin and on her face. She sees the posters and banners of the enlightened spread out throughout the city, and the neighborhood watch, always giving a wary eye to new faces. As she proceeds to the alleyway, she sees the signs, the symbols that only those of the hidden world seem able to see. And she'll proceed further forward, down a sort of dark alleyway, into this lush and open market with sounds and smells that she has never heard or smelled before. And she seems to go into what looks like an alleyway with an open sky into an underground kind of marketplace. There is the odd sort of bit of moonlight or beams of moonlight coming into the market, but it seems enclosed, this space. And before you see vast markets selling wares and items that you've never seen before, with strange people. Some appear normal, human, others appear half lizard or creature. You see entities and undead and ghosts walking around as if normal. And you even see a strange sort of large snail that seems to be just sort of leaving this large gooey sort of track that seems to wander around the market. And in the central aspect or pillar of this market is the Magician's Knob pub, which you have heard of before from your friend. And we'll go to our character for their reaction.
Yes, thank you for that. The reaction initially is, it seems a very interesting place, and Maria's only really heard of this place a little bit, rumors, whispers, that kind of thing. Well, not quite true. Some of the more outlandish things she's been told she didn't want to believe and simply write off as flights of fancy. But unfortunately, those flights of fancy are currently 6 foot crawling themselves past her. So what choice does one have but to simply believe? And going in there with a sense of wonderment and awe almost, even though she's doing her best to keep her emotions in check at that point, because one doesn't want to be the tourist. That's how you get mugged. So she'll proceed, as always, probably wearing, rather than just the skimpy cocktail dress that her darling brother got her, probably just have changed into business pants if she can find some, or gone and bought some, or whatever. Just a lot more incognito, coat, collar turned up, sort of sleeves rolled down, maybe even gloves. Actually, I'd probably say gloves, definitely gloves. But yeah, not really bothering with a hood so much in this area. So as soon as she gets to the breaking point of where normal masquerade happy times ends and this magical world begins, she just stops caring about upholding any sort of a facade and just sort of boldly walks in, because this is my skin, this is who I am, take it or leave it.
As you walk around the market, you're somewhat, again, it's been a while since you just walked around openly as you are in a place like this, and people don't seem to notice or seem to care that much.
Excellent.
Some people actually do take note of the way you look, but not in a sort of aggressive way, but more of a way, oh, they could sell you something, or they offer you sort of, I'll come, like fine jewelry, red jewelry, blood jewelry. They seem to have all this kind of item and things for sale that they seem to just instantly recognize who you are, what you are, and they try to sell you. And they're not aggressive. They're more charming than anything. They're trying to get your attention.
Politely decline.
All right, and you continue onwards or around the market, and you do spot one or two posters that seem to be hanging, and these posters have that same enlightened kind of logo or tagline, and it simply says like leeches, bloodsuckers, longtooth, beware, cursed London downfall. Report any sightings, report any warnings. Was it enlightenment rewards, such and such, such and such, as explained in the poster, like a contact or information. Obviously, it seems the enlightened are not only aware of kindred or vampires, they seem to be actually trying to find them or search for them.
So these pretty much are kindred wanted posters.
Basically.
So considering the fact that I'm not having a potato sack shoved over my head and dragged off into a darker alley, I correct myself, it would make sense that nobody really gives too much of a fuck.
Well, you would actually, you would spot one or two posters of actually people saying "fuck off," like other posters. A few other ones are made like jokes or pictures and knobs.
In which case, inner amusement, keeping arrogant external demeanor, because currently she sees herself as a giant walking middle finger to these guys.
Yeah, no, you do get that sort of sense, and people seem to be welcoming it or enjoying it. If you do proceed further, you do spot one crazy individual seems to be stalking you. It's quite obviously stalking you. He's sort of talking to himself quite loudly at the same time. Don't let her realise I'm stalking her. So a very harmless kind of idiot seems to be following.
They're never harmless idiots. Extend senses and let's have a good sniff around this guy.
You turn and you see this individual, a sort of crazed, like homeless man, who seems his fingers are twitching and like sort of touching and feeling. He's just got like, no, don't let us see you, don't let us see you. And as soon as you turn around, he kind of turns to look at some bizarre jelly that's been sold at one of the stores. Puts his hand in a jar and it gets all slimy. He just goes, but from what you can sense or smell of him, he just seems like a mortal. You do feel there's a kind of your beast as it pushes out. You do sense that there's something about him, some sort of hidden abilities or powers, but you're just not sure. The beast isn't quite aware. You just know he's not totally human, as it were. He smells tasty, put it that way.
Is he going to keep following me unless I interact with him?
Yeah.
He'll
keep following you. But again, in a very, either he's a genius or completely idiot. Sure, it's very hard to tell.
Hate dealing with plebeians. Walk up to him. Fuck it. Dominic, come on, go away. Done with these people.
Yeah, no, that no. Actually, how many dice would you have? It's your intelligence plus dominate.
Expression and dominate, I did.
I think, intelligence.
So 7 dice total.
So 7 dice. No, his resolve would be 2. Yeah, that could be an auto if you want. Or you can roll.
I just haven't got time to deal with this right now. I'll remember who he is, probably seek him out. But it's literally just, oh God, go away.
No, and as soon as you sort of meet his eyes slightly and looks to you, and you just say that, he simply goes, "Huh!" And he's like a soldier that sort of stands to attention, does a sort of weird salute, and then spins around and starts marching away from you in a really bizarre fashion. It's not exactly what you commanded him to do, but he's doing it nonetheless.
He's going away. That was my plan. I am happy he is going away. Proceed to the magician's knob.
All right, and as you proceed to the magician's knob, you're met by this sort of large central column that seems to support or rises the actual hidden alley itself. And around the magician's knob is this vast, massive sort of jade or green scaled kind of dragon that seems to be just formed above the window and envelops the entire bar. It seems to coil around the column itself. And this dragon's head just sort of hovers above the door with these red glowing sort of jewel eyes looking down above you from the door. And surrounding the door itself are these like rules and marking words that seem to be scattered. You can understand quite a few of the words. I think you've got a fair bit of a cult. Some of them in really ancient languages, other in bizarre alien languages, you're not sure. Very old sort of languages are written on this door. But basically all the rules state like neutrality. Keep to the rules. Don't mess around. No powers, no abilities. No trade is welcome. Everything's acceptable with trade. Theme of this place. And as you look and as you see all this, if you do enter, you see before you an even weirder scene as you look at the bar itself, and you see a place of merriment, a place of joy, a place of happiness. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves, getting totally rogered and drinking. But you see before you a scene of people, strange and odd creatures and entities that some you can't even quite tell. They sort of vibrate in and out of reality itself. Others are just simple green, human in appearance, but green. But you see loads of these small sort of girls in sort of roller skates that seem to be sort of sliding and running around the place, serving people drink. And you see the very loud sort of main figure, the owner himself, sort of behind the bar, speaking very loudly to a man who appears to be made out of rock.
Cute. I'm going to initially find myself a quiet corner if such a place exists and just study the clientele.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, there's a spot. Though this seems to be the front of the bar. As you kind of explore and as you go to the upper level, lower level, or the back area, this place is very big. A lot bigger than what it appears from the outside. Very, very big establishment. And it seems to just keep going and going. It seems to have more labyrinths, more twists and turns. The further you go, the more you kind of get lost, but then find yourself back to where you started. It's sort of a massive labyrinth, as it were. But you do find a nice spot.
Pretty much what I'm doing from my hidden little perch is looking for the regulars, the bar stuff, trying to sort out who's who, that kind of thing. If there's people going to a certain door and other people are not, then that's obviously the VIP area, that kind of thing. Just trying to get a lowdown, because I can speak tonight, of who the bigwigs are, where their rooms are, who's, considered a bit trampy, that kind of thing. In the end, I'll probably end up at the bar, but for now, I want to get a feel for the place.
As you sit, one of the waitresses will come up to you to ask for your order, but in a moment or two. But as you sit, I'm happy for you to roll intelligence or wits plus investigate, whatever's your highest. And we'll just see how many successes you get.
So that is 5 dice. Can you link me that funky dice roller again? Actually, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah. Did I tell you about? I'm trying to remember. I told you about it. Okay, hold on 1 second.
And it might be in my history.
I'll just link it into the chat.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay. What I'm trying to do. Yeah, I think I've got it up as well, so I should be able to see it. It's in the chat. Again, yeah, it's repeat or hashtag repeat the number of dice.
All right. Can you see 5 non-successes there?
Yes, I can see 5. Oh God, it's only 7.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Blue. Welcome back. So it's the weirdness, it's the bizarreness of the place. You can't quite put your thumb on it. You've been to all sorts of Elysiums and other bars and other establishments, quite strange and odd, but this one, it's as if it's deliberately confusing. That's the only thing you can really grasp, that this place is designed to kind of make you a bit confused and unhinged and unsure. Whether that's a defense mechanism or not, you're not sure. But that's what you gauge so far. And at that point, one of these girls appears on the roller skates and just sort of goes like, "Oh, hey, miss, can I help you?" Oh, and again, she kind of looks at you in your appearance and where you are, and just sort of, we've been instructed to inform management if your particular clientele enter here. One moment, please.
Saves me asking for the manager.
Yeah, it's sort of it's as if it's been presumed that you kind of speak. And she goes off, and you're left on your own. And at which point, this individual sort of appears. He'll walk to you in the corner, and he'll either sit down next to you or stand up, whichever gesture is appropriate.
If he stands, I'll gesture for him to sit.
Okay, and he'll sit down next to you, and he'll put a foot up on the table and lean in quite tightly into the corner and relaxes. He really seems to be relaxed. Like, he doesn't seem to care. And he looks to you, just going, another one of you leeches, Longtooth, as I've been told. Nice to have another member of the undead community in my parlour. First drinks on the house, end of the rules. Now, how can I help you?
What's the price on one of our heads?
I meant, well, drink if you like, but you seem straight to the point.
Some call it a floor.
Well, let's just say the price on your heads is a permit of free access. A lot of our kind aren't allowed in London. Well, certain parts of London. Turning in one of your heads, probably give them a permit, I think they call it, allows you to walk freely without interruption. I think the term is you're a forgiven, or a redeemed soul.
That would only imply that you have something to be forgiven for.
I find that we're all guilty of something.
Indeed. So who are they to cast the first stone?
There's always someone casting a stone. I think when your girl lot were in charge, they threw quite a few themselves.
She just smiles and goes, "That they did. Look where it got them."
I must admit, it's been quite boring since your lot vanished from London. But since you've come back, I've had all sorts of excitement. Problems and issues, but excitement nonetheless.
The two do go hand in hand.
That cursed blood of yours causes all sorts of problems, even if it is unintentional.
And Maria just sort of sits back and studies this guy. I mean, my observation has been so great this evening already. Would it be cheeky to ask for a specific, sniff out of him?
Yeah, you can try and gauge what he's trying to do, or how he's reacting.
Same rolls again?
I think this is more wits and composure. No, wait. No, wits, empathy. As you're trying to gauge what he's trying to do, what he's trying to say.
You shit. Okay.
Where are you, empathy?
I have empathy, thank you. I need it for interrogating people.
That's true. You need a lot of empathy to interrogate someone properly. No, unfortunately. It's good to have you back.
Man. This place.
Back
country.
You're not sure. It's so hard to kind of gauge and to to gauge him, and he's so relaxed, he's so comfortable here. You can't tell whether it's deliberate or it's a facade. You're just not sure. But he just smiles at you. Yeah, he just smiles at you. He goes, look, we could talk politics all night, love, but still need to give you a drink. Those are the rules. What would you like? Some spiced wine, sounds nice. Some romantic juice. That's always a good top mark. Come on, marks your kind. Or I've got ABBC blood type.
Maria will just study him for a second and go, what's your top shelf?
Finally, someone comes in here and decides to get some of the good stuff in for their first freebie. It pains me to depart with it, but those are the rules. First drink is free. I have some very, very, very rare blood type. One particular princess of virgin, of noble birth, ancient bloodline, no longer exists.
In hospitality's own tradition, the best is saved for a guest, so I don't feel guilty asking for it.
You can sense a slight bit of annoyance, like this is something that is quite expensive, or is quite worth it. He's compelled. It's bizarre. He doesn't resist. He doesn't sort of refrain. He's compelled. So he literally just taps on the bar. He taps like a weird pattern. And with that, like a glass just falls from the ceiling or falls from above you and lands. And the glass kind of mystically just sort of fills itself, as if the vitae or the blood pours from the table into the glass. And he seems to be looking away as he does this, as if it's quite painful for him to do, as if he doesn't want to do it, but he's doing it anyway. And instantly, as the vitae fills, oh my lord, that smell. That's a blood type smell that you're for some reason your beast recognizes, but you don't. You've never had this blood before in your entire existence. Your beast instantly recognizes and smells it and just so excited. So you're kind of, you may have to roll resistance, not just to simply gorge yourself on this stuff. It's that good. So I think we'll do a roll here. No minuses, just
resolve composure.
You're not doing anything. You've got 4.
I've got a resolve of 4, composure of 3. Can I just auto success it and be a boring person?
Yeah. You feel like he just wants you to jump like on the table and down this down your throat and smother your face in it. But you hold your composure.
Duly noted. Internal monologue, duly noted. Now go away. Anyway, grab the glass, have a bit of a sniff and a whiff and whatever. If I have enough control over the red of my eyes, I'll make them gleam a tiny bit just to give, mainly for this guy, as in, that is a lovely vintage, always play to people's ego.
That's good. You'll take note of that. He sort of nods and smiles. And he's waiting for you to drink it. He's actually quite excited to see you drink
it. I won't just guzzle it down, but I'll actually just dip a finger and just start rubbing it into my gums, sort of like it was a drug to begin with, and just sort of start tasting it like that and just go, And sort of put the drink down after just having like 1 or 2 drops on the old gums and on the tongue and go, there's conditions outside on the wall. No powers, no tricks, obviously doesn't apply to you.
Oh, I'm the enforcer of the magician's knob and protector of the hidden alley. I'm the only individual with sole responsibility and the powers to enforce those rules. You either obey them or I chuck you out, if you're lucky, in your correct dimension.
Maria just takes a glass. Not before I finish my drink, you won't.
Oh,
Just places it on the table.
actually, he gestures as if, oh, no, 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 that'd just be rude. I always price up the bill, deliver the tab at the end.
Hmm. I see. So free of charge might not be so free of charge.
Well, it depends what you do and what you ask for. As I said, the first drink is free. Everything else, well, there's a price. Oh, I do hope you're enjoying that fine vintage. And I must mark that you are quite restrained. I've seen your kind tear each other apart for a drop of that stuff.
I have ways. They have taken a long time to master. And I just sort of sits back and doing the body language thing, using my empathy dots, just copying his body language of being very relaxed, almost mimicking me in a way, and just goes, and I like a man who's confident.
All right, Charmer, you are. He likes it. He always likes to be confident.
But is this really your top shelf?
He it costs, and it's weird actually. He's thinking. He's really thinking. He goes, is that a request for something better?
My, did you lie to me?
I'm just asking, is that a request for something better? It's as if he's really struggling with something.
Wow. I suppose I ask again, is this truly your top shelf?
It's as if he doesn't want to say something, but he has to. And he merely goes, if the client wishes, we do have certain other very, very specialist items, objects, and liquids in the back room. But they're not for the general public. You see, they can only be asked for upon request if you know them.
See, now, did this guy give me his name? I can't remember.
Oh, so yeah, he would have. Sorry, I may have not done that, but he would have introduced himself quite loudly as Ashwood, mage,
Ashwood.
magician, master of the elements, space, and time.
See, now, Mr. Ashwood, now you're speaking my language. And she'll take the rest of the glass of blood that he's given her and just drink it down like milk, like it's nothing.
It's still really good. You're a beast.
Oh, it is good.
So,
Oh,
and
it's
actually,
good.
I'd say you even plus to his frenzy rolls just simply because your beast is so sated with what you've just drunk.
Purring little kitten.
Yes. Oh, it loves it. Loves it.
Yeah, just sort of, again, comfortable, cruisy as you would. Just calling him on his bluff. Like, it's nice, but it's not Hibiki 27. Come on.
Well, again, he just sort of gestures and he answers saying like there are certain other things in the back, but only upon request or and asked for. They're not just for the general public. And he sort of states those are the rules.
Whose rules?
Well, that's information. Information has a price all of its own.
It's a question, you can answer it or not.
As I said, questions are free, answers have a price.
Then perhaps you can begin by showing me your top shelf, Mr. Ashwood.
Yeah.
Don't worry, my freebie is done.
He's kind of like stroking his beard, and he's sensing that at least it's been so long for him to come and actually ask for something. And yes, I will allow you access to see the top shelf stuff. Now we're talking stuff that you can't find anywhere on this plane of existence. But there is a kind of membership fee, or at least the way you have to prove yourself a valid customer before allowed entry. Now, this rule is up to my personal perception, point of view. I'm the one that picks and chooses the members to go in the back shelf. He smiles as if remembering a certain rule.
Maria will actually go back to a more formal pose and just fold her hands in her lap and do the old steeple fingers, power of steeple fingers. And just sort of raise an eyebrow, as in, you're going to tell me what's coming on next. I don't need to prompt you into monologuing, so just spit it out in an expression.
Sorry, in what way? What you want him to? Oh, to tell you what he wants. Or?
Yeah, pretty much just the expression of keep talking.
Okay. So he leans in. He just simply goes, well, I would greatly appreciate some information. Some perhaps mortal wealth would be always appreciated. And 1 or 2 drops of Vitae would be greatly appreciated if donated for the bar. Sold to particular clients with particular taste.
For the first time since awakening from torpor, Maria actually cracks a proper smile that actually reaches her eyes and just simply goes, Mr. Ashwood, you must think I was mortal yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I do understand you're kind of very sensitive about your precious cursed blood. I hope you understand. I merely sell it. I'm an individual that sells tastes and flavors. Magics are forbidden to be used upon clientele's donations. We keep things very pure, very sacred in this bar. So
I should make you a counter offer.
Oh, right.
And she'll grab a napkin off the center of the table or a coaster or something that she can write on and just say, may I borrow your pen, Mr. Ashwood?
Oh, indeed. And he kind of just nods or glints, and a pen is just in your hand, as if it's just.
Okay. In my mind, it's the quill from Death Note.
Yeah, it's a quill. It's whatever you in your head want it to be.
And on the back of the coaster, Maria will just write down a couple of items, among these being a couple of petri dishes, like a lab, like a very basic lab setup, black mirrors, a bit of occult paraphernalia, pretty much what she needs for her augmented Vitae draft that I came up with, and sort of just slide that over, but slide the coaster or the napkin face down back to Ashwood, and I go, you can provide these to me, I'll provide Vitae to you in a way that you have never seen it before.
He looks interested, and he looks at the napkin. He sort of carefully. Actually, no, he doesn't. It's his bar. He doesn't care. No one would dare even sneak up on him. So he looks at it quite obviously. It's as if like he's looking close and looking out and zooming in. And then he's a look of surprise on his face, of like, oh well, my, these are very particular items, very unique, very interesting. And he sort of looks you up and down as if he's figuring out who or what you are, or who you may have worked for. I think I've dealt with certain clients that have asked for similar items before. Yes, I can provide these items and more and better. But again, what kind of product are you talking about?
Without knowing your stocks, I cannot say that it would be equal to, exceed, or be less than your top shelf, Mr. Ashwood.
Well, let's compare
But
it to, say, your. At the moment, I would describe your kindred vitae being somewhat top shelf due to its rarity at the moment. How would this product compare to that?
doesn't really answer, just again cracks that big, almost naughty smile and just simply go, 10 out of 10 would do again.
Now that is interesting. Though certain products, of course, we have to give warning labels to, health concerns, addiction possibilities. These things are standard in all accordance with the rules. But of course, we always have customers that ignore the rules, decide to taste what they shouldn't be tasting.
And at this point, Mr. Ashwood, I must point out that we're still in the front room of your bar. How much do your walls have ears?
I wouldn't worry about that, love. Not many would dare peek, listen in on my conversations. And those that do, well, as I've said, they not seen from again for a long time, at least, in pieces.
Then let us continue to talk business. I'll provide to you a sample, which you may, at your leisure, trial on someone of my kind, or someone of your kind, or someone of their kind, or that giant snail I saw out the front. When you're satisfied with the quality of my work, I'll show you how to make a batch. Once you are successful in creating a batch for yourself, I will leave the premises never to be seen again and leave you with nothing but an account number in which you will place 9% of gross profits for 90 years. Do we have an agreement?
I agree to all terms on one condition. Your lot have not been quite reliable as of late. You don't quite have the backing as you used to.
Then I suppose this would be a leap of faith for you, Mr. Ashwood.
Oh, leap of faith. I'm not in the business of faith. I leave that to the enlightened. Here, I require a deposit. A deposit that will be brought back to you upon completion. Now, this deposit can come in the forms of mortal currency. But as I've said, we accept all sorts of things here.
She'll take the pen, the quill, dig it into the corner of her eye, pull her eyeball out, and stab it into the middle of the table.
I'm sorry, repeat that. You get what?
I get the quill, stab it into my eyeball, pull my eyeball out, and stab it into the center of the table.
Right, that's a heavy thing you're about to do there. I think you, even as a kindred, you need to do some kind of roll just to rip your own eye out. I don't know.
There will be willpower involved because this is I'm showing my balls move.
All right. Yeah, this is very interesting. Okay, definitely. Let's say stamina and resolve. I think it's sort of your physical endurance and your mental endurance. And there has to be at least a penalty of at least 2 because you are trying to rip your own eye out. 2 to 3. Let's say 2. Let's say 3. We'll see what the dice say. You do it either way, but in one way you're it's messy, and another way it's bad. It's good. See how the dice.
Messy.
How bad is it? Oh.
It's messy.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be messy. So it's whether your resolve stamina -2.
I've rolled it. It's messy. There's no.
Oh, sorry, I haven't got it up. Right. Okay. So you do it. Oh wow! Thanks, Blue, for coming back. Yeah, you. Oh, that's a lot of dice as well. It was that willpower point. Okay. I have to make note of that. And yeah, you do that. You get the quill. You jam in your eye, but it's a lot harder. Again, kindred bodies are very tough and very sort of designed to endure quite a great deal of punishment. And you do rip your eye out, but as you do so, because you failed, I'm going to make it just a small talk penalty. Your eye kind of just pops out and sort of rolls across the floor, across the bar, and everyone notices and everyone sees it, and they all sort of look to you and look at the eyeball that's now rolling across the floor. And then one of the roller skater girls seems to be going along, and usually quite agile, but accidentally go on your eye, flip over backwards, and land on their back as your eye kind of squidges and explodes. And you've caused like 2 points of bashing. Well, actually, you failed. So it's really messy, so I'm going to say 1 lethal damage. 1 lethal.
That sounds good.
You really pulled it out your eye socket there. And the mage is just very confused as he's looking at you as you've just done that. Like, what the fuck?
Grab a napkin, shove it into my eye socket, sort of wipe the cheek a tiny bit, lean down at Ashwood and just say, "You're not getting my blood."
Jesus, love. Your kindred are so bloody sensitive about your blood. Ugh.
When you see what can be done with it, you'll understand why.
As I said, I don't want anything with your blood. Just got certain clients that appreciate the flavors and textures. Your blood's one of the most potent substances around in the hidden realm.
I will not be appreciated.
All right. He just gestures his hands. Well, if blood isn't and it is a big issue for you, well, we'll simply allow term of service instead. Say 20 years or so. Upon if you do not complete the task. He gestures 20 years because he knows for a kindred that's like nothing.
No deal.
God, you are a bloody stubborn one. Well, I've got to have some kind of deposit. Can't allow you to walk out.
You have my eyeball.
Get that on the floor. And he sort of gestures for one of the girls to like.
Not my fault that one of your girls wrecked it.
I must admit, kindred eyeballs aren't exactly a high-selling item.
I'm sure you have a way of making it worth somebody's while.
All right, then. If you're up for body parts, how about both your teeth? Now that I could sell for something, at least.
Or another drink. Else we might have an accident.
He's like getting like, you really are. You're a hard negotiator, for God's sake. Look, teeth or nothing. I ain't giving away free drinks. Only the first one. Those are the rules.
I'm not asking for top stuff.
Expensive. Oh, hold on. I'll just let you sort of think and debate your situation. I just need to get the laptop. Be right back.
Yeah. Let me fill the space and time with a bit of internal monologuing, because everybody loves internal monologuing. Maria is used to the dramatics of oaths and whatnot, and I pledge this by my eye, by my teeth, whatever. But not with this guy. This guy can go eat a fat one. She's not going to give up her blood just simply because she is not that way inclined. There's only been one person that she's ever given her teeth to, and that's a bad memory. Does she truly want to relive it? Possibly. But she's willing to continue pushing some buttons simply because if this guy wasn't interested, he would have gotten up and left a long time ago. And so we're going to keep pushing buttons, I'm afraid.
He looks to you and he sees as if you are you're very hard sell. Very hard. And he is interested. He tells you. by now. And it just look, it's not within my power to give away free drinks in this place. But you could do me a favour, plus your teeth, and we'll call it settled. And this favour will generate for you another favour for yourself, if I'm right in thinking how you kindred work.
After the teeth, another drink, the use of your lab. And I think I might have to rethink conditions.
Teeth is a deposit, which you'll get back once task has been completed.
No
Lab
deal.
equipment. You're asking me, a humble pub owner, establishment owner, to hand over to you some rather expensive items and equipment on your word alone.
Have you never made an investment, Mr. Ashwood?
Oh, I have made many, and they have backfired quite fantastically. This is why I always ask for a deposit from clientele. That they get back upon completion of their task. Now, you, such a confident, such a noble, brave female kindred as yourself, should be able to certify that this simple task can be completed as you've explained. Why, unless you're worried that you won't be able to pay or receive back the deposit. Now, that concerns me. Or perhaps you've got no funding. Another problem that concerns me.
The thing that concerns me is that I'm too old to be called a liar, and you're calling me a liar.
I never said you lied. I'm merely questioning your confidence.
Oh, you implied. And I grow tired of this cat and mouse game.
Right.
Fuck it. Burn a blood point and just grow the eyeball back and just get them both glowing. I'm not going to intimidate him just yet, but at the words of, I'm tired of this cat and mouse game. Especially when I still cannot decide who is the cat and who is the mouse.
Oh yeah, you spend blood point. Oh no, it's you one blood point. You heal the eyeball damage. And yes, you glare your red eyes. You flare them up. Gesture to him. And he smiles at you as you do this. And just simply, I understand where you're coming from. I'm sure in the open world out there, you kindred can gain a lot of respect, or used to have a lot of respect. But unfortunately, in London, you just don't have the power you used to, or the fear. It's not my fault the world's decided to cast your lot out.
God, I need to make a self-composure roll. Fuck you, you bastard.
He has like insulted you and your kind in a very sort of pathetic way, actually. But anyway, so entirely up to you. You do have that vitae in your system. Well, actually, no, I'd say you'd spend that's not in your system anymore. So
that's a good one, thank Christ.
There would have been, there might have been some penalties, but I don't think so. You're not hungry.
Just turn those two successes into one.
So yeah, two one exposure. So yeah, you're within control.
That fucking Venture Blood is here right now. She's about to destroy everything in her path just to make a point, which is counterproductive. Right. But we keep our composure. And I'm going to probably make a mistake on the count of pride, but simply get up and go, you have my terms, Mr. Ashwood. If you don't trust me, you can oversee the manufacture of the first batch yourself. You are not gaining any more of my limbs or otherwise. Once you have tried the product, we will then renegotiate, simply for the fact that you have wasted my time here this evening. I'll return to the Magician's Knob in a week's time, giving you time to think about this. In the meantime, feel free to put those ingredients together in whatever order you choose. See what you come up with.
Oh, I understand your fair and rather harsh point, but as a gesture of friendship, a gesture of goodwill, doing me a favour and allowing yourself a good favour, would you mind removing that thing from my bar outside the hidden alley in a preferably violent manner? I'll allow you to do with whatever you want with it. Believe me, when I say whatever you want, I'll leave it up to you. Just simply say the words transform once you left the hidden alley, and the certain creature will be revealed to its true self. Otherwise, keep it as a pet.
God. I hate being turned into a servant.
He's doing you a favor as he describes it, whether or not that's true. He does point and gesture, and it's to this frog that's in a jar on the bar. And when you do look at it, you instantly sense that kindred sort of predatory aura. It's very weird. It's quite morphed, and it's definitely coming from the frog.
Fuck it, let's get some blood going. See, to that, Mr. Ashwood, I can agree.
Then at least we come to some accord. As I said, just get out of this bloody place and the hidden alley. And if you do transform it, tell it it's not welcome back for at least a couple of moons. And I'll allow you to do whatever you wish for it, Keith, as a pet, or merely speak the words transformation to allow it to be revealed as its true self. You've got to say the words with a bit of will, though. Give it some oomph. Reach deep down inside, otherwise it won't work.
Duly noted. So...
Oh, at that point, if you do agree that the girl with the roller skates merely picks up the jar instantly on a tray and sort of does a little funny spin. And she looks at you and offers it to you, but she gives you a bit of a grumpy look. And yeah, you can tell this is the one that flipped over on her back because of your eyeball.
I honestly don't care. Take the froggy. But on the lap. Whatever. Let's make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So, Ben, when can we do part 2 of the transaction? I have to admit it's been a long time since I've been able to. And she'll just, again, give you that hungry smile. Work my magic, as it were.
I'll look over your request and have a look at this form. If it holds true and perhaps maybe you gain a bit more of a confident reputation, I'll consider it and contact you in a week's time or a few nights' time, depending on products worth. But I do require some kind of down payment, or at least maybe if you got yourself a bit of a good reputation amongst us hidden folk, I may reconsider it.
She'll just shake her head. You do drive a hard bargain. I do believe we shall get along.
Very well then. I'll leave you be, and hopefully the enlightened don't get to you.
She's about to, flick a little quip over her shoulder as she leaves, but there's no need. She'll just simply say, "Good evening. It was a pleasure not doing business with you."
He smirks and laughs and just gives you a nod as he sort of turns around and goes back to his other clientele, patrons. And instantly, as if he's arguing with the rock creature, the rock monster, as if the rock monster's done something. It's as if he's gone to a completely different business or another different business that you weren't aware of. It seems that he does this a lot. It seems to be primarily what he does here. And now you can understand why he drives quite a hard bargain. And with that, you're left.
Yep. I shall head outside with my new pet frog, who really should have a name. Anyway, walk out into the street.
As you look at the frog a lot closer, and as you sort of sense it, yes, it's definitely a kindred. That is this frog. It has it's a very thin sort of famine type sort of frog. It's sort of lanky and scaly, sort of very thin. And
Is it actually giving off a kindred aura?
Yes, definitely giving off a kindred aura. You can sense that. And the frog even has a bit of a skull face, as if the face itself is quite dry and skull-like. And it has these kind of very sharp teeth. Definitely very odd for a frog. Definitely not a normal frog. And it's definitely giving off a very deathly, very sort of decaying kind of aura. It stinks and smells as you go.
That's cute. I love it. Oh, Barry's delightful. I shall go. I shall go with my frog in my pocket. And I shall go hunting. And when I go hunting, I shall save some for the frog.
And I think with that, we will happily end scene on our kindred, who has not managed to get the business deal she wants, but at least has a new pet now. With that, we will end scene. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show.